You look at the time at the bottom of your laptop and it's only 2:34 p.m. and you're feeling that fatigue, that long day fatigue after having your eyes staring at emails, typing emails out, being in back-to-back meetings. At this point, you're exhausted, mentally drained, overstimulated, and just disconnected. Now, let alone that you had your quick 15 to 30-minute break to eat something, you did not have time to go outside and connect yourself with nature. I mean, it's not even part of your agenda. I've been there over previously was fluorescent lights. They kind of upgraded it to our LED lights and you're just exhausted. What if we didn't need the next wellness app or productivity tool or even expensive supplement? What if the tool that I'm about to share with you is actually an edible plants growing on the side of your desk? Today I'm sharing why mint is one of the most overlooked office plant, and why it aligns beautifully with the well-building standard biophilic design principles and the science of human well-being. And when you think about mint, which most people think about mint either in their gardens outside, maybe in a potted planter so that it's not spreading and eating up your lawn. Most people think of mint as an herbal tea, something that you can drink. But what if I told you that the mint can be a powerful tool in creative or restorative space where you can visually, tangibly connect with nature during your workday? I'm Priscille Joseph. I am an environmental wellness designer, a WELL AP, a certified office ergonomic evaluator, and I am absolutely passionate about helping you create a healthier home workspace through nature-centered design. On this channel, we're going to explore evidence-based ways to enhance your well-being through potting and planting and propagating plants, biophilic design, wellness interiors, edible gardening, and indoor gardening, and just practical ways to help us connect with nature in a tangible way and in our everyday lives. One of the biggest challenges now in the workplace is not necessarily the workload, it's the disconnection. And the obvious, and you don't need me to affirm this, the fact that we are spending about 8 to 10 hours a day in our work environment under artificial light, surrounded by technology with very little interaction with the living system. And we basically move from one digital task to another, rarely engaging our senses in a meaningful way through our workday. And that can cause mental fatigue. And again, we can feel that at the end of the day. I would even say right after a lunch, we have such a reduced creativity and the feeling of being disconnected to nature. And that is one of the reasons why biophilic design has become such an important conversation in the workplace. Biophilic design is based on how we are innate with nature. We need nature to thrive, to function at our best capacity in a way that our physical and psychological well-being can benefit from an environment that incorporate natural elements. Now, the challenge is that many workplaces approach wellness and biophilic design in a very passive way. They get somebody to come and install a plant in the corner of the room and you go past it through your workday. It doesn't necessarily reduce your stress level when you're walking in and out of that meeting room based on the conversations or the meeting that unfold in that room. The plant is seen as a passive tool versus a powerful tool. And that's why today, I'm sharing that if you can plant and pot your very own mint at your workstation, this changes. Maybe not consciously, your subconscious is going to feel that change. Okay, I have to make this clear that mint is not this extraordinary or even magical productivity hack. It's not going to replace sleep. It's not going to replace healthy nutrition or movement or even stress management. Now, this is very vital that you need to hear this. However, I'm suggesting that engaging with mint in particular can become a supportive sensory part of your workday. And I also want to take this moment to debunk this lie that you have probably been fed into based on marketing strategies. Now, in 1989, NASA launched a clean air study. This study in 1989 became extremely popular. And what they've done is they picked particular plants to place in a sealed chamber, and then they would inject or infiltrate, I should say, toxins in there like VOCs, benzene, formaldehyde, and there's a list that they put in these closed chamber, and they were monitored within the 24-hour frame, within a time frame, to see how these plants would react. And the conclusion of the study states that the houseplants have the ability to remove these toxins out of the air. Now, this is where the myth comes in, because this is not really practical to the everyday building. It's not practical. You can't compare it to your work environment or even your home or any commercial spaces, because in a commercial space or in a building function or even a house, there's an exchange of air. So either if you have your ventilation system, your HVAC system, there's the exchange of air, going in and out. Or if you live in a home and you open the window, there's the exchange of air. You open the door, there's the exchange of air. It's not a sealed chamber like in the study. The data in terms of air cleaning cannot reflect the same value of the NASA 1989 study, because that was done in a closed chamber without any air exchange. That the mint plant is not going to be your air purifier. There's other plants, the Sansevieria, snake plants, where people have this common conception that it does filter out the air. That's not the case. Now, within the study, it shows that you need an amount of plants in order to replicate or come close to the study. And that's about anywhere up to 1,000 plants, depending on the size of the plant, per meter squared to replicate the data. Now, this is not to say that the mint or the plant in question is not a value. In fact, it has tremendous value in your psychological well-being. The plant has the ability to help reduce stress. And again, going back to our visual connection to nature, the data are there. Our cortisol level is able to be lowered with exposure to nature, that visual connection to nature. One of my favorite connections between mint and workplace wellness really comes from the well building standard. Now, specifically looking at feature M02, nature and place. Now, the goal of this feature is really to strengthen people's connection with nature by creating opportunities to experience the natural elements, or natural system, I should say, within the built environment. Now, what's important here is that recognizes that nature is not simply something we observe, it's something we experience. And this is where mint becomes the powerful tool. Now, most office plants engage in only one senses, and that's why mint is one of my favorite plants. And I'm advocating, trying to inspire you to bring mint in so that it can become a houseplant. Mint can become your houseplant. It's a hardy herb. It's very invasive, so it will grow very well in your planter, and it has the ability, you can smell it, you can touch it, and you can feel it. It has all 3 sensory levels. Now, what's even great about having mint as your houseplant is that you can harvest mint right from your desk and make a hot tea at the end of the day. Now, if you get that mental fatigue from looking at a screen very often or throughout your day, well, mint has the ability to reduce inflammation. Sometimes that pounding headache, well, mint can calm that down. So if you have access to a kettle at work, well, you can harvest some of the leaves and put that in a mug and let it brew and watch it work. Another way that you can use mint throughout your day is touching the leaves. So if you're coming in and out of meetings And especially if you know you're going into a heavy meeting, one that might require a little bit more of energy from you, well, rub the leaves. Rub the leaves, which activate that oil, activates the aroma, and smell it. It will help naturally lower your cortisol level. Another fun tip is that mint can actually be infused in water, which helps enhance hydration through the day. And if you've ever tried this, you can try it with cold water. Mint in cold water is so refreshing. It's absolutely refreshing. These may seem like small actions. However, it takes those small habits and small actions in order to enhance your wellness. Another reason why I recommend mint, extremely easy to propagate. And if you have a healthy plant, you can create more of this mint plant and share them with your coworkers. What you want to do is simply cut a healthy stem just below the leaf node and remove the lower leaves. Now, you never want to keep the lower leaves off of propagation, because one, you don't want the leaves to be in water, it will rot over time, and you want to preserve the plant's energy in order for it to grow roots versus sustaining all these leaves. So leave two leaves on the top and remove the bottom leaf. And you're going to place the cutting in water and watch. Within a week, you will start seeing the roots grow. Imagine growing a plant on the side of your desk that have been used for over 2,000 years by physicians, herbalists, gardeners, and the ancient world that needed help to relieve digestive discomfort, mental fatigue, and just stress of everyday life. Now, the next time you're thinking about bringing a houseplant to work, I want to encourage you, I want to challenge you, bring a mint plant. Then you can propagate it, share with your coworkers, but see how this mint plant will impact your everyday.